It's strawberry season. Strawberries are one of my favorite fruit.
Actually, a strawberry technically isn't a fruit. Let's dig into the garden and learn a bit more about strawberries.
And when we're finished, meet me in the kitchen for one of my family recipes.
The strawberries that we typically consume today are native to the Americas. Many indigenous groups actually call them the heartberry. North Carolina is the third largest producer of strawberries in the nation, with over 400 farms. And what's cool about that is they're almost always sold direct to consumer, either at farmers markets or roadside stands or you-pick farms, which can make it a great activity for family. Strawberries are a perennial that loves to have full sun. They also really like nutrient-dense soil, so you want to try to add compost every year to amend that soil, give them some nutrients back. They also really like some space to spread out. They do need to be thinned occasionally. They're not super competitive, so you want to make sure you're weeding them and thinning it out so they have that room to spread out. And if you do have plants that are young in the spring, maybe from a fall planting, that have more flowers than they do leaves, it's a good idea to trim back that first round of flowers just to give the leaves some time to catch up and be able to better produce. You'll get a higher yield that way. Strawberries have a really pretty 5-petal white flower. It's really flat, making it a great landing spot for bees, and bees are the #1 pollinator of strawberries. Strawberries are ready to harvest mid-April to mid-June. The more you harvest, the more fruit they'll produce, and the less prone to disease your plant will be, so it's good to harvest when you see that it's ready for that. You do want to harvest when the berries are bright red and really ripe. They do not continue to ripen once they've been picked. But if you do want to harvest, you're going to pinch just about a 1/4 inch above that berry to take the fruit. Technically, strawberries are not actually a fruit. They are what's called a false fruit or multiple fruits. When we look at a strawberry, we see these different, what we call usually seeds on the outside, all of these little specks. That is technically the fruit of strawberries. It's also known as an achene. The word straw means to scatter or to be strewn about. So that could be referring to the multiple different fruits that we have here shown as these achenes, or it could be talking about strawberries runners or stolons. It's their ability to put out these runners that produce new plants. So let's take a look at one. So this is the start of what I think might become a runner. It's a bit early for us to see just yet, but basically what will happen is the original strawberry plant is called the mother, and it will send off a shoot or another stem called a runner that will eventually continue to grow, and the node will turn into roots that are able to plant what we call a daughter plant in the neighboring soil. So what you can do in the spring, if you have a really full planter like we do, is to just cut those runners back. So I would cut right at the base of the mother plant and just either compost the runners, you could give them away, or if you did need more daughter plants and you needed some more fullness in your container, you could let those root themselves. Another thing you can do if you need to thin out a little bit in the spring is remove some of the older plants. Strawberries tend to have a really good yield for about 3 to 5 years, but beyond that, they kind of decrease their yield. So it can be good to remove some of the older ones and let those daughter plants start to take over. Speaking of daughters, let's head into the kitchen and see what Jen and her daughter have cooking up for us today.
Thanks, Taylor. I've got Anya here with me today, and we're going to be making a family recipe of strawberry-rhubarb applesauce.
Strawberries have a way of bringing people together. Remember when we made strawberry picking?
You and Nolan were always so competitive.
And I always won.
We're really lucky that we live in North Carolina with all the you-pick farms. Our recipe today is from my grandmother, your great-grandmother, Shuggy, who you didn't get a chance to know. But hopefully by making this today, you'll get a chance to feel connected to her.
What exactly is rhubarb?
Rhubarb is a perennial plant that we grow in the garden. It has really large green leaves that we don't use as part of cooking. We do use this bright red stem that is really similar in texture to celery at start, but it breaks down when it's cooking and has a great tart flavor that pairs really well with the sweet strawberries. All right, let's get started. Would you mind cutting the strawberries and rhubarb, and I'll do the apples?
Sure. If this is your first time cooking with rhubarb, we're going to cut off both ends of the stalk, and we're going to be cutting them about an inch size of a piece.
And if the stalks are really tough, you want to make sure that you're using good knife safety. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to use your first finger and thumb and you're going to pinch it on the knife. And then you're going to use a nice rocking motion to cut through the rhubarb.
Now we're done chopping. What should we do next?
We're going to go ahead and clean up. We have our compost bowl that we'll take out to the compost. One item though that you can keep and not throw away are the apple peels, because kids often love them as a snack.
It's my favorite part.
Now that we've cleaned up, we're going to go ahead and cook the applesauce. Here at Poe, we have a hot plate. At home, you'll probably be using your stove. We have a large stock pot where we're going to add the strawberries, apples, and rhubarb along with a 1/4 cup of water. We're going to bring that to a boil and then we'll let it simmer for 20 minutes. Now that we're halfway through cooking, let's give it a stir.
While you're stirring, I have a joke for you.
Oh yeah?
What do you call a sad strawberry?
I don't know. What? A blueberry?
Do you think it's ready yet?
I don't know. Let's check. Looks good to me.
It smells good.
All right, our last step is going to be to use our masher and go ahead and mash the apples down to whatever consistency you like, which for us is with a few little lumps left in it. All right, that looks good. Let's give it a taste and see if we should add some vanilla or sugar.
I think we should add some sugar.
All right, I think we're going to start with 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a tablespoon of sugar. And give that a quick stir. I'm glad you like it. So now we're gonna get ready to serve it. It can be served either warm or cooled down and chilled. So what's your favorite way to eat this?
Well, you can eat it plain or with yogurt, but I like it over frozen yogurt.
It tastes great, but we also get really good health benefits from strawberries and rhubarb. They both have lots of antioxidants, vitamin C, and fiber, and rhubarb also is a good source of vitamin K. My favorite way is to eat it just plain, and I also made a yogurt parfait for Taylor to try, so let's go get her from the garden. How's it taste?
Right.
What do you think?
It's really good.
Thanks for joining us today. If you are interested in learning more about gardening or trying our recipe, like and subscribe, all those good things below. Let us know what you think of the recipe.
And don't forget
To stay Poe Fit.